Hey, hey.
Hello.
Evening.
Good evening. What's up, ladies? How's it going?
Hey, hey.
Man, here
It
we
is
are, another Thursday.
another Thursday, and it's the Thursday before the Super Bowl. So,
No.
if we're going to start hot topics, let's start it there. Y'all know how I feel about football. So,
I know. Well, yes, let's get into hot topics, but we did want to make just a real
all
quick
right.
announcement. We wanted to give a quick shout out to our girl, Dr. Lakeisha. She is taking a much needed, well-deserved break. But she will be back with us shortly. But we just wanted to shout her out and say, hey girl, we miss
Hey,
you.
boo.
Can't wait till you're back.
We do miss you, girly girl. All right. So,
Okay,
hot
Super
topics.
Bowl.
So, Super Bowl this year is in Tampa. And
It
we
is
have
in
two
Tampa.
special men in our lives that are who
Way too excited. They are
My
way too
husband is
excited.
crunk. You hear me? Crunk.
So
Oh,
Dr.
wait, did y'all
Kristen-
see that Jarvis and the kids made it on Tampa Bay's little video?
No.
Yes.
Oh man, I should have grabbed the little clip to show y'all. But yes, they were super excited after they won the NFC championship. And Jarvis did like a story of him and the kids. Of course, they all have their jerseys on, and they're like, "We're going to the Super Bowl." And Tampa Bay picked it up and put it in one of their little video clips.
That is so cute. So
They're
Yeah.
famous.
and Dr. Amber's husband
They're
both are
big
huge
Bucks fans.
Bucks fans.
Yes. I am not. I don't know anything about football. I did learn today that The Weeknd is performing for the halftime show.
He is.
I didn't know
That's
that.
all I know.
He is. Is he just him by himself? Nobody else?
Now that I don't know. But I do know that I was trying to be the good wifey and I logged on like maybe I can surprise Mike with some tickets. Child, please. Those tickets were like $14,000
Yes. Immediately after they won,
per
because I looked
ticket.
through, and y'all know Jarvis's birthday is next week. So I was like, ooh, it'd be a
of
great
course,
birthday present.
Me and
I was
Jarvis
like,
have
not
the
no
same
$10,000
birthday.
birthday present.
Me and Jarvis have the same birthday. You better get my friend that birthday present.
I know. I tried, y'all. I mean, the prices have gone down significantly. Last time I looked, they were maybe $5,000. Still steep, but half of what they were when they first won 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
but we are still in a pandemic.
We are.
So, Super Bowl parties will have to be virtual this year. Everybody
Absolutely.
watch the game at their house and y'all can just be on Zoom together.
Please, for the love,
in
do
all
not gather.
seriousness, yes, in all seriousness, enjoy the Super Bowl. But please, let's just keep in mind that we are still in a pandemic. And yes, numbers look better this week than they did last week, but they could jump right back on up 2 weeks from now if people don't continue to social distance. So,
yeah. I'm super excited that the numbers are going down. They're down by about 30% from where they were in December, which is excellent. But the reason they're going down is the holidays are over. People aren't gathering in big crowds and people are starting to be vaccinated. So all three of those things is really what brought the numbers down. And so if we could just hold off a little longer and not gather. But what I found interesting, I was watching the Today Show this morning. And the top foods for the Super Bowl were wings and nachos were up against each other. And guac and spinach dip were up against each other.
Yeah.
I do all of them.
Yeah.
But I was surprised.
Really?
Nachos beat out wings. I did not
Really?
expect nachos to beat out wings.
I'm not a big nachos fan, but I am a big guac and spinach dip all day, every day. I could do that.
Get a little Parmesan cheese on top of the spinach dip and put that bad boy in the oven for a little bit.
Yes. Yes. That sounds wonderful.
Man.
But guac beat out spinach dip. So it's guac versus
No, I can see that
nachos.
too. I'm a big guac. I love making my own guac. I don't like cilantro. Did y'all know I don't like cilantro?
No.
What?
I like cilantro.
So I like to make my own guac. with jalapenos instead of cilantro.
I like jalapenos.
Well, I like both. I like it both. I like them both in my guac.
Yeah, I guess I have that gene that cilantro just
don't.
tastes funny.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say like soap, but it doesn't taste like soap to me. It just is very overpowering. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I digress.
So speaking of kind of the Super Bowl and us distancing ourselves from being with a whole bunch of people, how did you guys feel about getting your second shot?
Good.
So I feel like among the people that I know who are vaccinated, I feel like I was one of the last ones to get my second shot. So I was preparing for the worst, y'all. I scheduled it for a Friday. So I was like, I don't have to work for the next couple of days. I told Jarvis, I was like, I'm going to be in bed all weekend. So don't rely on me for anything. I mean, I just was expecting to have, symptoms of fatigue and maybe feeling like I have muscle aches or feeling feverish or feeling like I have chills. I was just expecting the normal immune response reactions. But y'all, I ain't getting none. I had a little bit of a headache Saturday morning. I took some Tylenol and that was it. And then I laid in the bed for a little bit longer and I was like, man, I guess I got to get up out of bed because I feel fine. I was a tad bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, in all honesty and in all seriousness, I did feel fortunate that I really didn't get a lot of the side effects for my second shot.
Same. My arm was very sore. And so the next day I took ibuprofen and it was fine. But I'm giggling at the fact that, that's how working moms have to get their rest these days is you gotta fake like you gotta have a COVID side effect for real, Dr. Kristen. That's what we're doing now.
No, it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, yeah, I did. I got out of bed, so I was like, I really don't feel bad. So I guess I should get up and actually do something.
I get my second shot tomorrow. So I am the outlier in this, guys. I am the one that got the side effects the first shot. So I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm not very nervous about getting shot number 2. However, I'm pretty sure I had COVID in December. And so I got the shot pretty close to when I actually was already recovering from COVID. And so I think that kind of played into my symptoms. So I'm hoping that this one isn't as bad. But I'll give you guys an update. The big symptoms were more just really badly fatigued, had a headache, and had some just muscle soreness for about a week and a half. So keep your fingers crossed. I'm a little nervous.
Yes, keep us updated, Dr. Tamika.
So what we've noticed, and I don't know if you guys if it's the same everywhere. I'm in Indianapolis. You guys are in North Carolina, 2 different areas of North Carolina. But what we have found is that there's been a huge healthcare disparity with people getting the vaccine. And African Americans are still super, even though we are the ones that have the most increased morbidity and mortality, we are not getting the vaccine at the same amount, the same rate as our white counterparts. And so I don't know if you guys want to speak of that. I mean, that's it just kind of goes with the flow of everything else that we've noticed about healthcare disparities. And I know in Indiana, they're really trying, they're doing mobile vaccinations and some of that stuff to try to get it to the neighborhoods.
Yeah, so I can speak about that a little bit. So first of all, I think that the reason that we're seeing slower uptake amongst communities of color is multifactorial. I think there's access issues. I think that there are issues related to historical medical atrocities that have people skeptical. I think that the rate in which the vaccine was formed and developed has people concerned. I think when people hear messenger RNA, it's new and new things can be scary. In addition, I think, unfortunately, there's been a lot of misinformation. And so all of those things combined are reasons as to why communities of color are being vaccinated at a lesser rate. And so, what I've been doing, I've been out giving my stump speech to different virtual COVID-19 town halls, one with my church, one with a bigger community stakeholders and faith members across North Carolina. I gave 3 yesterday to our some of our employees at the hospital that I work with. And people's concerns are they span the gamut. I've heard, the questions that I've received over the last few days have been very eye-opening for me. I've heard questions like, is there a microchip in the vaccine? What's in the vaccine? Is the messenger RNA going to interfere with my DNA? So just a wide variety of concerns. But I think, the thing that physicians can do, especially physicians of color, is that we can share information, we can spread the word, we can use our platforms and our positions to provide people with factual information, and most importantly, we can lead by example.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're still on the discussion of vaccines, someone who is watching, Cheryl Pearson, thanks for your question. She did ask which of the vaccine did the 3 of us get. So I got Pfizer. I believe Dr. Amber got Pfizer as well.
Yes.
And Dr. Tamika, I'm assuming you got Moderna because you and I got our first shots, I think, on the same day. And since tomorrow will be 4 weeks from our first shot, is that right? So it looks like each of us have had, at least one of us has had one of each. So, and Johnson & Johnson, I don't know when theirs is scheduled to come out. Has anybody heard any updates about that?
Dr. Tamika, you're muted. But so Johnson & Johnson is still in the early phases of their clinical trial. And so they're in phase 1 still of their clinical trials. And so they're still testing whether or not it's safe in persons 16 years or older. But we're hoping in the next couple of months that their vaccine will become available. One of the advantages of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is that it's a one-time vaccine, and it's available. It's supposed to be a lot cheaper or less expensive compared to Moderna and Pfizer, which will mean that other countries who don't have as great of economic status will be able to take advantage of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So we're hopeful that again we can get people vaccinated, and that we can reach, at least in our own country, that we can reach 75 to 85% vaccination so we can get herd immunity. That is the goal. In the meantime, we are still in the thick of this. We've still got to do all of the things that we've been doing. We've got to be very diligent about wearing our mask, social distancing, washing our hands, hand sanitizer. This is not the time to let up. We are still in the thick of it, especially as new COVID-19 variants or strains are being discovered every week. No. So, I think we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that it's February and it's Black History Month. As for me and mine, we celebrate Black history every day around here, but I am appreciative of the fact that we have a dedicated month to lift up pioneers in our community, in our history. And so kudos to Stacey Abrams for being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for her civil rights activism, and also for her efforts in fighting voter suppression in Georgia and getting people registered to vote at extraordinary rates. We just lift her up tonight. She is to be commended. She is to be acknowledged and recognized and thanked for her efforts.
Where's she go to school?
Oh gosh.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, she is a woman of Spelman College. And I mean,
Woo, woo.
what she did is absolutely incredible. Absolutely amazing. So, yes, big kudos to her. And yesterday was National Women Physicians Day.
I
So,
know.
happy belated National Women Physicians Day, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Same to you all.
All right. So I still have a love affair with my Peloton. And we came here with, and look, don't be looking at me. Oh, you still have, I'm sorry.
I still don't have a Peloton. That's why I'm looking like this.
I'm still trying to work on the treadmill. I really want my treadmill, but I got my bike and my hair is natural. And I'm not the best at doing my own hair. If you know me, you know that I don't like it. I don't like washing my hair. Don't like any of it. I don't know how to braid. That's why I didn't bless me with little girls. So, you know. But Dr. Kristen is our hair guru of the group. And so we are
Look at those curls, y'all.
I know, popping like always.
My curls, I was going to change my color for y'all today, but then I ran out of time, because we all have full-time jobs too. So
we do. So we are here to talk about hair and what you can do to protect your hair during this pandemic. So let's start off with my biggest question is that, and I've been with Dr. Kristen for a long time. We travel together and we have great fun. Dr. Kristen's hair looks just like that when she wakes up in the morning. Like she just fluffs it and it's perfect. My hair don't look nothing like that. If it's curly and natural, the next day it's a wreck. Total disaster. So what do you do when you go to bed to make sure your hair looks like that in the morning?
So it really did take me a while to figure out what worked the best for my hair and what would keep the style the best. And it really was trial and error, like most natural hair is. But I can share that what works really well for me is doing a pineapple at night. Have y'all heard of a pineapple?
I have, but I don't know how to do it.
Okay. So basically what a pineapple is just a really high ponytail. Like literally like all the way up on the top of my head. And one thing that is for certain is that cotton is no bueno for naturally curly hair. It just completely dries our hair out. It makes it dry, frizzy, no cotton. So let me see if I can find, I got props.
All right, now.
Lord, can I not find the one thing that I need right now? I've got all kinds of stuff over here. Let's see. Of course, it's the smallest thing.
I came to the bed the other night with some little nightcap, and Mike was like, "Oh, that's what you doing now?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm protecting my hair."
Jarvis and my kids clown me too. Cause wait till y'all see. Jarvis said I look like when I had it on. He said I look like I was going to a wedding in Zamunda. I said leave me alone. Anyway,
that's
so you got to take it back to the 90s. Get your old-fashioned scrunchie. So not like a hair tie, because those can kind of leave the indentation in your hair. So something that's like a little bit thicker and like a scrunchie really does well where it won't leave that indentation in your hair. So and this one I got is made of satin, so it's not cotton. And actually I got this one from a Black-owned company. I'm going to try and find links to some of this stuff and I will post it in the video later. But you take a scrunchie, you flip the easiest way for me to do it is to literally flip my hair completely over. Flip your hair completely over. And then you just kind of gather it literally on the top of your head.
Oh.
And then put the scrunchie on.
Okay.
So that's a pineapple. And then for me, I've kind of gone back and forth. But what seems to be the best is once I have my hair in a pineapple, I take a satin scarf, again, no cotton, and I wrap the satin scarf around to kind of keep my edges nice and laid down so they don't get all frizzy and dried out at night. And then I also sleep on a satin pillowcase. So lots of satin going on, ladies. But I mean, this combination has really worked the best for me and for my hair. Now for hair of different lengths, a pineapple may not necessarily work for
I'm like,
for instance.
I can't get this
But
on
Dr.
pineapple.
Pepper's hair would probably do really, really well in a satin bonnet.
Mhm.
Yes. That's what I came to bed at with the other night, and Mike was like, "That's what you doing?"
Hey,
So, yeah.
you
So,
gotta
yeah,
do what
buddy.
you gotta do in these curly hair streets.
Right.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so a satin bonnet is a really great option for almost any hair length. Like this one I bought from another black woman owned company. She has locks. So she makes these in a number of different sizes because that used to be my biggest issue with bonnets, is that sometimes my hair was too long for them. So I would kind of have to stuff my hair in it. And then when I woke up in the morning, everything was just like this to my head. So this one I think is like in a extra large, I think. But I think she even had a size or two bigger than this. Because if you think about women or men with really long dreadlocks, you know, they kind of need a lot of room. So satin bonnets are excellent options too. And I even find when I pineapple my hair when I'm working out, like Dr. Tamika said, pineapple it up and then put either a satin headband or a satin scarf around to keep the edges nice and tame too. That works really well for me for workouts because that is like the biggest thing as having natural hair. Is like, how am I supposed to work out?
So I think my biggest thing, my mistake is almost always, I think I flatten it out. Like for whatever reason, I'm used to having straighter hair. I don't have a perm, haven't had a perm in 5 years. So when it's curly, I want to treat it like I do. Like my hair's not flat iron right now, but it essentially was rolled up and then I wrap it and then it just ends up looking like this. So I want to keep my hair and like wrap it like I do when it's straight, and that does not work. But I've done that since I was 13. So it's really hard for me to get out of the wrapping phase of my life.
So when your hair is straight like this, Dr. Tamika, do you still wrap it?
Yeah. So I wrap it every day.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
going to say wrapping is a great way to maintain it when it's straight.
Yeah, when it's curly though, I still want to put it in that like silk scarf, but I still kind of I don't wrap it, but I think I tighten it too, like I want to like it's wrapped. I think that's what I'm doing wrong. We'll see. We'll work on it this
Next
summer.
time, next time it's curly, try the pineapple and then just wrap a satin scarf around it to keep the edges.
Yeah. Thanks to my beautician Tammy for whipping me up, getting rid of these grays today. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, look 10 years younger.
Well, I think at least for me, especially in the winter time, everything is dry. My skin is dry. I feel like my scalp and hair are more dry. And so I know for me, I know I have to make sure that I'm being diligent about deep conditioning.
Yeah.
And so wondering, Dr. Kristen, if you have any tips about deep conditioning that you could share.
Yes. Deep conditioning is your friend. I love deep condition. I think for most people, probably the biggest hang up is time. You think about deep conditioning. Well, I don't have 30 minutes to sit down with conditioner in my hair.
Right.
But one is just super important to maintain the health of your hair, keeping your hair moisturized, because when it's dry and brittle, that's when you get breakage. When you have breakage, it's hard to grow. It's hard to maintain the health of your hair.
Right.
So it is super important. You don't have to deep condition every single time you wash your hair, but I would say at least very minimum once a month. Twice a month, it would be even better. And you may even have to increase that during the dry winter months, especially depending on where you live in the country. If you live in a really dry climate, that may be even more reason to make sure you have the deep conditioning as part of your regimen. But going back to time, if you feel like time is an issue, one way to kind of speed up your deep conditioning step is to use heat. So um, our hair has cuticles. And if you think about the pores in our skin, think about the cuticles or the cuticle layer of your hair shaft. It opens and it closes. A lot of people, when they think about curly hair, the first thing they want to know is, well, what curl type am I, or what curl pattern am I? And really, it doesn't matter. Honestly, one of the things that matters more than your curl type is your hair porosity. And porosity has to do with your hair cuticle, the cuticle layer, the outermost layer of your hair shaft. For some people, when they jump in the swimming pool or when they put their head underwater in the shower, their hair is like immediately wet. That's someone who may have high porosity. Some people jump in a pool or jump in a shower and like they literally have to submerge their hair for like a full minute for it to feel like the hair is even wet yet. Like it's like the water just beads up on the hair. It takes forever to just actually get it saturated. So if it's you may have low porosity. And basically what that means is with low porosity hair, the cuticles are closed. And when the cuticles are closed, it's hard for things like water and our hair products to penetrate the hair shaft and go deeper into the deeper layers of the hair. For people with high porosity, the cuticles are open. And so that's why they can absorb things really quickly. But the downside to that is that the moisture comes in quickly and it leaves quickly too. So it's not like one is necessarily better than the other.
Right.
But I say all that to say heat is a great way to open the cuticles on your hair shaft. So by adding heat, your deep conditioner can penetrate deeper and penetrate faster. So instead of sitting there for 30 minutes, if you add heat, you may only have to leave it on for 10 minutes. So one of the things that I do have like one of those old school dryers, but it's big and cumbersome. I don't always feel like pulling it out. So I got one of these heat caps from Amazon. These are flax seeds inside the heat cap. So you put this in the microwave for like 2 minutes. And when you take it out, it's hot. So be careful not to burn yourself. But you take it out, it's hot. So like I put the deep conditioner in, I just cover it with a plastic cap. And then I put the heat cap on. And it's nice because it's cordless. You know, you can walk around, you can do something else. You don't feel like you're stuck under a dryer waiting for your deep conditioner. So you can walk around, do things, and then when it's done, you just take it off and go rinse out your conditioner. So this is one of the things that when I can't find it, the kids and Jarvis know. Because I'm going to walk, where is my heat cap? Grace uses it when I wash her hair too. So sometimes it does get misplaced. And I'm like, where's my heat cap? But yeah, so deep conditioning is a great way to combat the drier winter months.
And hydrating, you know, drink your water too. That's really important for your skin.
Keeping me
Yeah, where's your water?
I know y'all keeping me accountable. Where's my water bottle? Yes, people, drink your water.
So speaking of like, you know, working out, trying, you know, you're busy. We're busy people now. We're living in a pandemic. People don't feel comfortable going to, say, the beauty shop every 2 weeks or whatever they were doing beforehand. What can they do to protect their hair at this point? What kind of protective styles can they use?
So protective styles can be great to just give your hair a break. And you do have to be careful though. You don't want to leave your hair in a protective style too long. And you also want to make sure you're still doing certain things to maintain the health of your hair and specifically your scalp when you're wearing a protective style. But braids are a great protective style. And now it's like, I feel like
as long as they're not like cutting off your circulation.
Exactly. Like they should not be too tight. Like if your scalp is like, it's normal for your scalp to be a little tender after you get it braided. But if you're walking around the house having to pop Tylenol and ibuprofen every 4 hours, if you're like literally almost in tears, it's too tight. And you're just, it's a protective style.
And you ain't gonna have no edges.
Doing the opposite by snatching your edges, literally. we like edges. We want to keep the edges. And especially for young girls, like when we're braiding our daughter's hair, just don't do it too tightly because their hair can be even more prone to breaking off if styles are too tight. So yes, that's a great point, Dr. Amber. But yes, twists. There's so many cute like bohemian locks and faux locks and styles like that are out right now that are excellent as a way to protect our hair while we just kind of give it a little break, a break from heat, a break from styling. But again, when they are in those protective styles, you still want to maintain a healthy scalp. So if you're keeping a style for weeks on end, you still want to make sure you're washing your scalp and making sure your scalp is not getting a buildup of product and dandruff and dead skin. Because when your scalp is not healthy, your hair is not going to grow.
That is true. And women always ask me, like, why is my hair not growing? And I was like, well, what's your scalp look like? Is it flaky? Is it irritable? Because your hair is not going to grow if your scalp isn't taken care of. Period, point blank.
Yeah. I mean, I was an adult when I realized washing your hair was really washing your scalp. Right. You wash your scalp and then basically your hair gets clean when the suds rinse from your scalp down your hair shaft. Like you don't have to scrub your hair. You should scrub your scalp. Yeah. Gently, but you should scrub your scalp.
Right. All right, ladies. Well, I think we are about to wrap it up today. We have some great shows coming in the coming weeks, one of which will be caring for your parents as they get older. We were going to do that this week. We're going to push it back a couple weeks. Next week's my birthday. Next Thursday, we're not having a party. Don't even. Thanks, though.
You don't know what we're going to do.
I know.
I hate to have to leave them on my birthday.
Wait, you wouldn't even show up for your own party? If we threw you a virtual party, y'all. We talking about a virtual party.
Don't be throwing me no virtual. No, thank you.
But clutching my pearls, my one pearl.
Clutch them. So we will be back next week. It was great talking to y'all tonight, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Anything you guys want to add?
No.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
For joining us tonight.
Bye.
Good night.